leftist media in general is having a huge collective meltdown as we speak. Right now, they are feeling the heat. They know that they failed. They should consider maybe some drastic maneuvers, and some of them are already in play. CNN is firing people. MSNBC is on the chopping block. The only one that's surviving out of all of this is Fox News, and we'll see what happens with them. Look, they've got some reckoning of their own coming. I know that a lot of you are Fox News fans. I am not. I do believe that they are controlled opposition, and even though they do have some good show hosts on there, as an organization, as a company, they are opposed to MAGA, opposed to Donald Trump, and truly anti-American in many, many ways. This is still, I believe, Paul Ryan's company, and the people, the executives in charge, are they. It's only for the sake of self-protection that they even pretend to occasionally align themselves with American values. But with that said, were a couple of massive meltdowns. First, there was the meltdown of Axios founder, Axios CEO, Jim Vanderhei. This guy was, he hates Elon Musk. It's very clear. This is the guy that launched, he founded Politico, sold it, went and did Axios, which is basically Politico 2.0, right? And he's having a fit. And then the second meltdown happened in response to Jim Vanderhei's meltdown. You had the panel led by Joe Scarborough from Morning Joe, who had an even more outrageous meltdown. We'll watch both of those combined.
Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media, you are the media. My message to Elon Musk is bullshit. You're not the media. You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter. You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work.
Yeah, come on, slow clap, everybody. Whoa. First of all, I've got to say, extraordinary content. It needed to be said.
Yeah.
It continues to need to be said. When all of the garbage that's flying around on social media, lying about reporters, lying about the hard work they do, lying about the hard work editors do, lying about everything up and down, about not only their alternative set of facts, but alternative set of facts about what people like you do. Or if social media, people lying every day, every hour, every minute about the news. What you do matters. What the New York Times does matters. What the Wall Street Journal does matters. What Jonathan Lemire does matters. What the Financial Times does matters. What NBC News and MSNBC reporters do matters. It matters.
He's right. He's right. What they do matters. The problem for them is that they lie. That's what they do. And it does matter. It's finally starting to matter. It didn't matter nearly as much before because there weren't people such as the aforementioned Elon Musk, such as Joe Rogan, such as Tucker Carlson. These people that are calling out the various lies being told by corporate media, legacy media. They are the problem. And the funny part is they know it. They are so passionate, not because they feel like they're on the righteous side. They're entitled. They feel like they deserve to be heard, even if what they tell is lies. You cannot convince me. It is impossible to convince me that any of those people on that panel, or Jim Vanderhei, or anybody in corporate media actually thought for a second that Hunter Biden's laptop was not real. If they had seen any part of it, they would have known, holy cow, this is real. They lied. They bald-faced lied to all of us. They had a narrative. They hated Donald Trump. They needed Joe Biden to win. They knew that Hunter Biden's laptop was a problem. And so they lied to us. And as a result, they have decimated this nation. Corporate media is responsible for the border crisis. Corporate media is responsible for the destruction of our economy. Corporate media is responsible for the Ukraine war. Because if it wasn't for corporate media hiding, willfully and intentionally lying about the Hunter Biden laptop, it has been reported that 17% of people who voted for Joe Biden would not have voted for Joe Biden if they knew the Hunter Biden laptop was real. 17%. That's more than enough to have switched the results of the 2020 election. So for Joe Scarborough to go out there, for Jim Vanderhyde to go out there, for these guys, these entitled journalists to go out there and feel like they have the right to lie to us, that I am not a journalist because I don't have a fancy studio, because I don't have a multi-million-dollar series of corporate interests backing me, corporate interests that do include big pharma across the board. Axios is funded by corporate interests. MSNBC, their advertisers are corporate interests. I do not have a single the closest thing that I have to a quote-unquote corporate interest is my pillow. That's it, okay? Otherwise, all the sponsors, all the wonderful people that make this show possible, these are tiny companies that you've probably never heard of, companies that couldn't afford 30 seconds on MSNBC. They come to people like me, and I do it because I believe in their products. I wholeheartedly and truly believe in everything that my sponsors do. You can't say the same thing about legacy media. They are, and pardon my French, but they are whores. Not just whores for the money, but whores to the narrative. They say what they're supposed to say. Not the truth. They say what they're told to say. They were instructed to hide the Hunter Biden laptop. And I'm using that as the example. Look, I think all of us, anyone watching this show right now, could name off 20. If given enough time, and it wouldn't take a lot of time. For many of you, it would take literally a matter of minutes. At the most, if you sat there for half an hour, you could count off 20 times corporate media directly lied to you. And we're not just talking about getting things wrong. Look, I will get things wrong. Any journalist who reports anything is eventually going to get something wrong at some point. But I can tell you that what I report, I truly, legitimately believe. Joe Scarborough and Jim Vanderhyde cannot say those words truthfully. They will repeat things that are based around the narrative. They will say things that will support the agenda. And if that means that they have to lie to you and to me and to America and to the world, they feel entitled to be able to do that. They feel like they have earned their ability to lie. Now look, I don't have the corporate sponsors of an MSNBC. I don't have quite as many viewers, even though I might actually be approaching it considering how few people are watching MSNBC nowadays. I don't have Joe Scarborough's his audience. My websites, my various websites do not have the same reach of Axios. But just because they have more money behind them, just because they have more credentials, they have awards dinners, doesn't mean that they have a monopoly on being the media. Elon Musk is right. We are the media. He is the media. Users of X are the media. Not all of you. I would say the vast majority of people aren't the media. They're not sitting there going to X and trying to be journalists, okay? They don't sit there and comb through it trying to see what the latest is so that they can put out their commentary or anything like that. But to some extent, anybody who shares information, news, opinions on X or anywhere on social media, to some extent, they are journalists. By the very definition of the word, they are journaling. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. So don't tell me that what you do matters, but what I do does not matter. Don't tell me that because you have Jim Vanderhei, you have a fancy dinner where they're supposed to honor you for your contributions. They're honoring you for your lies. They're honoring you for your deceit. They're honoring you because you have been successfully evil enough to take money from corporate interests, to take money from very bad people, to take orders from those who want to lie to the American people. That's why you're being honored, because of your evil. As far as Joe Scarsborough and Mika Brzezinski and who I saw Al Sharpton on there and some other people in the panel, they're clapping at his words, clapping at his passion and his truths. Those truths, too, are lies. You are the media. I am the media. And there's nothing they can do anymore to stop that. The door's been opened. Pandora's box is unleashed. So yeah, they feel entitled, but I'm feeling a little cocky lately because for the first time in my life, I do feel like we have an opportunity to finally close the door on legacy media and open the door to the truth. Be sure to follow my work everywhere that I work by going to jdrucker.com/find, F-I-N-D, jdrucker.com/find. You'll find my socials, my shows, my Substacks, the works.